everybody, welcome to class today. So today we're going to be doing a gentle kind of yoga flow. So this is really aimed at people who have maybe got chronic pain, you're a little bit older, or you're really new to yoga. It's going to be really gentle. We're not going to hold anything for too long, and it's not going to be really strong. So grab yourself a cushion if you need a cushion to sit on, or for under your head if we do some lying down poses. Grab yourself a strap, a tie, a belt, something that you can use to increase your shoulder mobility. And if you're really tender or really stiff, maybe have a chair close by, because I'm going to offer up some variations that you can use the chair for. So we're going to start lying on our backs. So if you want a cushion underneath your head or underneath your hips, feel free to do that. You can come to lying on your back with either your knees bent and knocking together, or if it's comfortable for you, come into full Shavasana with the legs nice and long. And close the eyes, bring one hand to the chest and then one hand to the lower belly. Take a nice deep inhale through the nose, feel the chest rise and feel the belly rise. And then exhale, feel the belly fall, feel the ribs contract, feel the chest fall. And again, inhale, feel the breath rising all the way through the chest. The lower ribs expand, the belly expands. And then as you exhale, feel the belly fall, feel the ribs fall, and the chest fall. Take a few more breaths like this, in and out through the nose, trying to feel all the way to the pit of the belly, feeling the lower hand rise. And then gently fall as you exhale. And then start to open the eyes. Bring the hands off to capital T, and then you're going to hug the knees in towards the chest as much as is comfortable for you, and just take a gentle twist over towards the left hand side. So you're just going to drop the knees to the left. They might not come all the way to the floor. Your feet might stay on the floor, and you might just let the knees flop to the floor if that's more comfortable for you. Wherever you are, try and draw the right knee so that it stacks on top of the left, and gently draw the right shoulder down towards the floor. Take one more inhale here. And then as you exhale, come back through center, either with the feet lifted or the feet on the floor, and then take it over towards the other side, gently letting the feet fall towards the right, knees fall towards the right. And if you're really stiff like me in through your upper back and shoulders, that left hand won't come to the floor, and that's fine. We just work in that general direction. Your knees don't have to touch the floor. They can always hover off the floor. Take an inhale here. And then as you exhale, bring yourself back to center. Plant the feet hips distance on the floor, feet are parallel. Hands run down by the side of the body. Take an inhale. And then as you exhale, think of peeling spine one segment at a time, all the way up as you lift your hips up, coming into a bridge pose. So you're coming up only as far as the back of your shoulders. You don't want to come up any further and put pressure on your neck. Take an inhale here, and then exhale, slowly roll it down. And we'll take a few more like that. Inhale, ground through the feet, squeeze the bum, lift the hips. And then as you exhale, slowly roll it all the way down. So take a couple more at your own pace. And just be aware that the knees aren't collapsing in towards each other or splaying out to the sides. You want to keep the feet parallel and the knees directly over the hips. And releasing any tension up in through the neck and shoulders. Take one more wherever you are. And then coming back down to the floor and just giving the knees a gentle squeeze in towards the chest. So you can take hands to knees. If you're more flexible, you can wrap your forearms around your knees and grab opposite elbow. Just rock from side to side. And then make your way up into a seated position. So you can roll to one side, or you can rock and roll the length of the spine a couple of times. And come up into a seated position. If you're really tight through your hips, take your cushion, have a seat on it. You can roll up your mat and have a seat on your mat. Cross your legs as much as is comfortable for you. They might be really far away from your body. They might be really close, whatever's working in your body. Take your left hand to the floor. Inhale, sweep the right arm up. And then as you exhale, you're going to crawl the left hand over to the left. And if sitting is really uncomfortable on the floor for you, this is a great time to grab your chair. You just sit in the chair and you can do exactly the same stretch. Gently grounding down through the right hip wherever you are as you reach the right fingers a little bit longer. Take one more inhale. And then as you exhale, come to center, and we'll just swap it over. Inhale, reach the left hand up, and then exhale, start to bend yourself over to the right, either crawling the fingers out, or if you're on the chair, just dropping your fingers down towards the floor. Wherever you are, ground down through the left hip as you think of spiraling the chest open. Exhale, come back through center. If you're seated, you're just going to cross your legs in the opposite direction. So take the unnatural leg in front. Inhale, sweep the arms up. And then as you exhale, you're going to take your left hand to your left knee. Take your right hand behind you for a twist. Inhale, grows the chest nice and tall. And then as you exhale, contract the belly as you twist a little bit deeper. Keep the shoulders nice and relaxed. Inhale, sweep the arms up, come through center. And then as you exhale, take the right hand to the left knee, take the left hand behind you. Inhale, sit up nice and tall. And exhale, rotate. And then inhale, sweep the arms up through center. And then exhale, hands come to prayer at the heart center. Beautiful. Roll over your shins and make your way into a kneeling four-pointed position. So if you need extra padding underneath your knees, feel free to have a blanket or roll your towel over. If you're not comfortable putting weight on your wrists, then you can grab your chair and you can come and prop your forearms up on the chair. That's always an option for all of these next movements. So if you're on all fours, your wrists are under your shoulders, your knees are under your hips. We'll take cat-cow. As you inhale, gently drop the belly towards the floor and then reach the sternum forward, look slightly forward. And then as you exhale, think of rounding the spine, tucking the tailbone as you look towards the navel. Inhale, drop the belly, reach the sternum forward, reach the tail to the sky. Exhale, round the belly, look towards the navel. And then take a few more like this. I'm going to demonstrate what it looks like on the chair. So if you're on the chair, you'll have your forearms here. And then as you inhale, exactly the same movement. The sternum comes forward, the tailbone comes up. And then as you exhale, you're going to round the spine, thinking of scooping the tailbone, looking towards the navel. Wherever you are, we'll take two more. And then then come back to a neutral spine. From here, we'll take spinal balance. So ground down through the right hand and left knee. Inhale, stretch the left arm forward. And then exhale, reach the right leg back. So start with all 5 toes on the floor. And then if that feels good, then you can start to lift the right leg off. Try and keep the hips nice and balanced. And this will look a little bit different if you're on the chair. You'll be on one forearm, reaching the opposite arm forward and the opposite leg back. One more breath here. And then as you exhale, bring it all down. We'll take it to the other side. Ground down through the right leg and the left hand. Inhale, sweep the right hand forward. Exhale, take the left leg back. Start with the feet on the floor. And then if that feels okay, start to float the leg up. And what I want you to make sure you're not doing here is don't make a bird bath in your lower back. So gently draw up through the lower abdominals and really power up through the right leg to keep the lower back supported. And then exhale, bring it all down. From here, we're going to take child's pose. Bring the big toes to touch and bring the knees wide. And then start to walk your hips back towards your heels any amount. You might have a cushion between your hips and your heels. And then start to walk the hands forward as far as is comfortable for you. And then start to bring the forehead and the chest down towards the mat. This is a really wonderful pose for a lot of things, but especially lengthening out through the spine. So it's a really great one if you've got lower back and hip issues. If you can tolerate being in this pose for, say, 5 minutes even, it can do wonders for you. And then inhale, slowly start to bring yourself up. And then we're just going to make our way into downward facing dog. So bring the hands slightly forward of the shoulders, shoulder distance. Tuck the toes under and then start to send the hips up towards the sky. So your legs are really strong in this pose. You don't want to take all the weight through your arms. Think of pressing the ground away to take the weight out of your wrists. Tailbone reaches towards the sky. Knees can be as bent as you need them to be. And the heels don't have to come anywhere near the floor. And then look towards the hands. Bend the knees as much as you need to. Slowly start to walk yourself all the way towards your hands and just come into a forward fold. So if it's not comfortable for you to do this standing, you can always sit on your chair and just fold yourself forward, clasping opposite hand to opposite elbow. And then if you're in standing, you can bend your knees as much as you need to gently lengthen through the spine. And maybe sway side to side, straightening and bending through alternating knees. And then as you exhale, slowly let the hands dangle. Bend generously through the knees, ground down through the feet. And we're just going to roll up. So think of peeling your spine segment by segment. And the head is going to come last. Beautiful. Inhale, sweep the arms up and overhead. And then as you exhale, you're going to side bend towards the left. So take the left hand down and reach the right hand over to the left. Sorry, one of the lights is dying in here. Ground down through the right foot as you reach that right arm over. Inhale through center, and then exhale, we'll take it over towards the other side. And then inhale yourself through center. exhale, bring the hands down. Grab your strap if you know that you're super, super tight in through your shoulders, and you're just going to hold the strap behind you, shoulder distance apart. If not, interlace your hands behind you. Inhale, broaden through the collarbones, and then as you exhale, start to fold forward again, bringing the hands up and overhead any amount, bending the knees as much as you need to. And again, you can do this sitting in a chair. And then inhale, slowly raise yourself all the way up. Beautiful. So we'll work on some balance poses. Feel free to have a chair or a wall next to you if you need to have a little bit of extra support. Take the hands to the hips, inhale here, and then as you exhale, shift the weight to the left leg, bring the sole of the right foot either to the left ankle, the left calf, or to the upper inner thigh, as long as it's not directly over the knee. Keep the hands on the hips if you can, and try and keep both hips facing forward as you gently work the right knee towards the back of the room or towards the back of the mat. And then if you're balanced here, you can start to play around with arm variations, reaching the hands up, out to the side, wherever's good for you. 2 more breaths. And then exhale, bring it back through center, release the right leg, and we'll take it to the other side. So shift the weight to the right, and then as you exhale, take the left foot either to the ankle, the calf, or the upper inner thigh. And then if you're feeling balanced there, feel free to play around with some arm variations. And then exhale, bring your hands back through heart center and release the foot. Beautiful. So from here, we're going to go into chair pose. So this is really good for strengthening the legs. You can always have a chair behind you. So I'll put my chair behind you and I'll show you what that looks like. So you're going to have your feet about hips distance apart. And as you inhale, you're going to sink the hips back as if you're sitting into a chair and reach the arms up and forward. So if it's not comfortable on your shoulders to reach your arms up here, keep them here. That's fine. Or keep them at your heart center. If you're struggling with that, sit on the chair and just practice doing little lifts off the chair, up and down. And that's really good for building the strength in through the legs. And take 2 more breaths wherever you are. And then exhale, fold forward, let the head hang. And then inhale, sweep the arms up and overhead. And then exhale, and bring the hands to heart center. Beautiful. So we're going to take a stretch with the chair. So have your chair, can be either direction, just be able to get your hands to the top of the chair. And then you're going to start to walk yourself backwards so that you kind of come into an L shape, or that's where we're aiming for. So you're reaching your hips back as you sink your chest down, and you should feel a nice big stretch in through your shoulders here. Gently drawing up through the lower belly to protect that lower back, and making sure you've got a soft bend through the knees. And you can stay here, or we can take this into a balanced pose. Just going to give myself a bit more room. So keep your hands as they are, and then you're just going to shift the weight to the left and start to bring the right leg out behind you. I kind of don't have enough room here. So you're kind of coming into a capital T position. And then if that's going well, you can always work with lifting one hand off, or maybe lifting both hands off the chair and coming into warrior three. Exhale, bring the right leg down. And change directions a bit. And then we'll take it on to the other side. So shift the weight to the right and then start to take the left leg way, way back. And maybe it only comes to 45 and maybe you're able to get it all the way up to the height of the hip. And maybe you take one hand off, maybe you take both hands off. And then exhale, slowly bring the leg down and slowly bring yourself all the way back up to standing. And we'll start to make our way back down to the floor. But first we're going to grab that strap or that belt and we're just going to do a little bit of shoulder mobility. So we're just going to do it in standing for today. And as the series goes on, we'll progress to other positions. Take your strap shoulder distance apart. And as you inhale, you're just going to start to reach your strap all the way up and overhead, gently pulling apart as if you're trying to break it in half. And then just come back till you feel that sticky point. And your ribs are going to want to pop forward. Gently draw them back under. Gently tuck the tail. Gently draw the ribs in. You should feel a really big stretch through your chest. And then exhale, bring it down. Take your hands slightly wider. Inhale, reach up again. And again, get to that sticky point. You should be able to go a little bit further back this time. And then draw the ribs in. Exhale, release. Last time, a little bit wider again. So your hands should be wider than shoulders, wider than hips. Inhale, reach it all the way up. And then as you exhale, maybe this time you either come all the way back to that sticky point or you can go all the way down and bring the strap to the bum. Inhale, bring it back up overhead. And then exhale, slowly release. Beautiful. Inhale, sweep the arms up and overhead. Exhale, fold forward. As you inhale, you're going to step the right leg way, way back and we're going to come into a lunge. So drop the back knee. If you need padding underneath it, feel free to take it. If you need blocks or something to bring the floor higher to you, have water bottles, have tins of beans, have books, whatever you need under your hands to bring the floor to you. You can also have your chair beside you to prop yourself up, that's fine. What I want you to feel is a stretch in through the front of your right hip. So you're reaching the chest forward as you sink the hips down. And then you're going to tuck the back toes, ground down through the hands, lift the back knee, and then you're either going to walk, 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 or step the right foot all the way to the front. Take an inhale here. Exhale to fold. And then as you inhale, we're going to do the same on the left. So step the left leg back, drop the back knee. You can tuck the toes, untuck them, pad them, have books, whatever you want. Alternatively, if this is really, really tight for you, you can have your chair and you can just be holding the chair, step back with the left leg and start to bend into the front right leg and gently draw the pelvis forward. You should still feel that stretch in through the front of the left hip flexor. So hold for a couple more breaths wherever you are. And then if you're on the floor, inhale, lift that back knee. And then exhale, step or hop the foot all the way to the front. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Bring the hands up to the knees, shins, thighs, wherever you are. And then exhale, fold it all the way down again. And then from here, we're just going to make our way back into a seat. So either come to sit on your chair or come to sit on the floor. I'm going to extend your legs out in front of you. So you might need to sit up on a cushion, you might need to have your back against a couch or a wall, you might be sitting on your chair, wherever you are. Inhale, sweep the arms up and overhead, and then exhale, you're just going to fold forward towards your feet. So if you're on a chair, your legs are just going to be straight out in front of you, heels on the floor, reaching towards your toes, and you might get to your knees, you might get to your calves, you might get all the way to your feet. It doesn't matter. What I want you to feel is a nice big stretch through the back of the legs. And we'll take 2 more breaths here. And then slowly roll it all the way up. And then we're going to take one more final pose. We're going to take thread the needle. So if you're in a chair, then you're going to take the left ankle, cross it over the right leg. It's kind of like a thinking position. And then gently leaning forward, gently pushing that left knee down towards the floor to feel a nice stretching through the hip. If you've got the flexibility and it's comfortable for you, you can do exactly the same thing sitting on the floor. Plant the right foot, cross the left ankle, or you can come down onto your back. Exactly the same position, maybe reaching through and grabbing around the right shin. And we're just going to swap it over to the other side. So cross the right ankle across the left knee. And then whatever variation you're in, you're gently trying to draw the right knee away from the body as you draw the left knee towards you. And then exhale, slowly release. We'll make our way into our final resting posture. So come to a position that is comfortable for you. It might be lying, it might be sitting, it might be with your feet up the wall, whatever is working for you. And just like we started class, close the eyes. Take one hand to the chest and one hand to the belly. Take a nice deep inhale through the nose. Feel everything rise. And then exhale through the mouth. Let it all go. And then just start to come back to the natural rhythm of your breath. And take a moment of gratitude for yourself, for showing up, for moving, for stretching, for starting on your journey, whatever that may be, taking this time for yourself. Today, as you go forward, may you have clarity in your thoughts, direction in your words, and calmness in your heart. Namaste.